Today I'm going to review the MT2 AI tracking gimbal sent to me by Hohem. This gimbal weighs only 650 grams and it's compatible with cameras weighing up to 1.2 kilograms, including mirrorless cameras, action cameras, and smartphones. It's capable of shooting in both landscape and vertical modes, and its AI vision sensor enables you to track moving subjects up to 3.5 meters away. So at the moment I have my Sony ZV-E1 mounted on the gimbal with the AI vision sensor enabled, and all I have to do for the gimbal to track me is this, and now it's going to track me no matter where I go. This AI sensor is a separate part that can be attached or detached from the gimbal using magnets. It doesn't require Bluetooth or your phone to turn on. It has a built-in RGB/CCT field light, and it's gesture controlled. To enable tracking, you simply make the OK sign. If you want to stop tracking, you do the stop sign. If you want to reframe your shot, you're going to do this sign, which I call the double L sign. And now let's say, for example, I want to change the composition. I'm going to move to the rule of thirds on the right side of the screen, somewhere around here. And I'm going to do the double L sign again to lock the composition. And I'm going to do the OK sign to start tracking. And now the gimbal is going to keep me on the right side of the rule of thirds no matter where I go. So I'm going to go here, stop, still on the right side. I'm going to go here, stop, and I'm still on the right side. For a solo creator like me, this feature is huge, especially when I'm making a tutorial and I move around the frame a lot and I don't have someone else to film me. However, one important thing to know about this sensor is that it's limited to 3.5 meters, and also it requires a lot of light to operate properly. So if you're going to use this thing in low light conditions, it's not going to work the best. But let's do a quick test and see if I can get further away than 3.5 meters. So right now I'm around 2 meters away from the camera, and as you can see, it's working flawlessly. Now I am about, I would say, 5.5, 6 meters away, and as you can see, it's still working. Now I am about 12 meters away from the camera, and I can still see the little green light on the vision sensor, meaning it's tracking me and it's working. And I think now, it seemed like it was glitching a bit. Now I'm about good 15 meters, maybe even 17 meters away from the camera. And it's still working. Wow. Okay, now it lost me. Now let's see if the gestures work when I am far away from the camera. I'm around 6 meters away. Let's do the OK sign. Okay, it's seeing me. No problem. Let's stop tracking. All right, it still works. Moving on to the design, the MT2 has an excellent build quality. The top part is made of metal, while the lower part is made of high quality plastic. It weighs 650 grams naked, 670 grams with the AI vision sensor, and 750 grams with the L bracket attached. It has a non-touchscreen display and a control wheel for controlling the focus, roll motor, and RGB/CCT field light. The motors can be fully locked for ease of travel. The operation battery life is roughly 17 hours, but this is without the use of the AI vision sensor. It can be fully charged in about 3 hours, and you also have the option to use it as a power bank to charge your camera while in use, using the cables provided in the box. The maximum payload is any camera weighing up to 1.2 kilograms, whether it's a mirrorless camera, an action camera, or a smartphone. However, when using a mirrorless camera, I would recommend sticking with prime or lightweight zoom lenses to make balancing the gimbal easier. The MT2 is based on the Arca Swiss mounting system. It includes an Arca Swiss L bracket for easily attaching your camera vertically or horizontally, as well as a medium-sized Arca Swiss plate for the camera. Additionally, there is a special Arca Swiss smartphone attachment available with multiple accessory mounting points. I had no issues mounting and balancing my Sony ZV-E1 and Sony ZV-E10 with the 20 and 35mm f1.8 prime lenses. However, when I first tried to mount my iPhone to the gimbal, I had some issues with the gimbal motors. They were vibrating all over the place and the screen displayed an error 003. I thought I had broken the gimbal or something, but it turns out that I needed to recalibrate the motor torque for the iPhone because it's lighter than my camera. I didn't know it at first because I didn't read the manual properly, but after doing so I found that whenever you switch cameras with this gimbal, you need to adjust the motor torque either on the gimbal itself or through the Hohem application on your phone for the best performance. So don't forget about this step because I spent hours trying to figure out why the motors were shaking. Moving on, the MT2 has 5 filming modes: pan follow, pan tilt follow, lock, POV, and inception. It has an AB motion time-lapse mode that can be adjusted using the gimbal's AB buttons or the Hohem application, and it can be operated remotely using the Hohem application or the Hohem HRT03 remote controller. Additionally, you can use Bluetooth to control your camera from the gimbal. However, not all settings can be adjusted on the gimbal itself. If you want to change settings like joystick speed, follow speed, etc., you'll have to connect the gimbal to the phone and use the Hohem application, which is a bit of a bummer because I wish I could have completely controlled the gimbal from the gimbal itself rather than connecting it to my phone. Moving on to performance, this is where this gimbal let me down a little bit. No matter how steady I tried to be or how many times I rebalanced it, I always ended up with shaky footage. I'm not sure if this is how the gimbal works or if I just don't know how to use it properly because I have no experience with gimbals, but I know someone who does, my friend Pascal. I'll leave his channel link down below. I met up with him to see if he can get better results with the MT2 gimbal because I was really frustrated, and I also wanted to try out his Giant M3S gimbal to see if it performs better. The M3S gimbal is very similar to the MT2 gimbal, so it should be fair. Anyhow, each of us took 5 identical shots with the gimbals. We did a simple walk-in shot, then a sliding shot, a push-in shot, a backward walk-in shot, and a walk-in shot while steadily lifting the gimbal from the ground to the subject's level. And almost all the shots were steadier on the Giant gimbal except maybe for the sliding shot, which was pretty much identical. What do you think? Which one is more stable? Let me know down below. The MT2 is mostly fine, but it sometimes has these weird shakes and jitters that can completely ruin the footage. It does improve significantly if you apply stabilization in post, but I don't see the point of using a gimbal and applying stabilization in post to every single clip. Honestly, I'm not very impressed with the stabilization performance of the MT2. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make it better. I've tried rebalancing it, adjusting the motor torque, recalibrating it, and even doing the ninja walk, but from my experience it seems like this is just how the gimbal works. If you have any tips to improve it, let me know down below because, like I said, I'm really a newbie when it comes to gimbals and maybe I didn't use it correctly. However, I used the Giant gimbal for around half an hour and got great results right away, which says a lot. I really wanted to love this gimbal because of the AI vision sensor, the long battery life, and the ability to shoot horizontally and vertically with ease. But from my experience, the stabilization performance isn't very good. I'm not trying to bash Hohem or anything like that, but this is just my honest experience with the MT2 gimbal. And if I figure out why I get shaky footage with it or how to fix it, I'll let you know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.